This is lab 4, spring mass system. In this lab we are going to analyze the motion of a mass hanging from a spring using Newton's second law and energy principle. We analyze real motion in tracker and we get data from here in order to set up our model. First we need initial position and velocity. So we set up these initial conditions and we know the value from this position from tracker file, and we know that velocity is 0 because it starts from rest. We know already the mass of the ball, and we know that the delta t is a small time, g is 9.8. We calculate stiffness knowing the period of oscillation, and knowing stiffness we can calculate the zero length. Here is the length of the spring and here is the orientation of this, and this is the stretch or compression from our spring. In these lines down here we compute the system energies, which are the kinetic energy, the gravitational potential energy, and the spring potential energy, which are the energies involved in the system. Now in tracker we see that the time of a moment is 9.307 and we write it in our code. So now we define the initial energies and are the energies that we described already here. So now we write here the Newton's second law. So we have a gravitational force that comes from the interaction from the earth with the spring and the mass system. We have the force, the spring force. We have the net force, which is the sum of both those forces. Here we write the code of the ball velocity and the ball position, and then we write here the code that expresses the update of the spring. Finally, we write here the energy changes in kinetic, in gravitational, and in spring potential energy. We know there is not energy transfer with the surroundings, so we know that the total system energy is equal to 0. So we run our model and we can see that plotting these energies we have the change in kinetic energy in blue, the change in spring potential energy in red, the change in gravitational energy in green, and the change in total system energy in yellow, which is equal to 0. The change in potential energy isolates with exactly the same period and they cancel one each other. When one is positive the other is negative, so the sum of them is 0, which is the total energy. When we compare our model with the experiment, we can see that they match pretty well. This is the period of oscillation from X position data, which is 1.63 seconds, and this is the period of oscillation from Y position data, 1.39. With period we estimate the time that takes the mass making an oscillation, and the moment is not regular, is a kind of ellipse. So X and Y runs different paths in at the same time, and the difference comes from here and maybe a little from precision of the point of mass in tracker.